Okay, so imagine walking into, say, your favorite sports bar, right? Place is buzzing. Or maybe a busy restaurant, could even be a really modern gym. What's the one thing you see absolutely everywhere? Screens, just loads of them, all showing different things. But have you ever really stopped to think about what's going on behind the scenes? Controlling all that content. For the businesses running these places, it can be a real headache. And that's exactly what we're taking a deep dive into today. We're looking at the WolfPad 10-inch color tablet, specifically how it works with WolfPad TV control systems. Our mission really is to unpack how this specific tablet tries to, take all that chaos of managing multiple screens and turn it into something smooth, something intuitive for businesses. We've got some great sources here, product descriptions, detailed specs, and they really paint a picture of what this system can do.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is how often we just don't see the operational complexity behind it all. You're managing maybe dozens of displays, different content coming in across maybe a really large venue. It needs precise control. It's way more than just flicking a switch, right? It's routing content dynamically, making sure everything looks right, maximizing efficiency. So this deep dive, it's really going to shine a light on the why. Why do solutions like this WolfPad even exist? They solve a very real kind of frustrating problem for businesses.
That's a great point. So let's really set the scene for you listening. Think about that typical setup. A packed sports bar, maybe a dozen TVs, could be even more, each one showing a different game or channel. Or picture a restaurant manager wanting to smoothly switch from, say, the news over the bar to a promo loop showing tonight's specials. Without a system like this WolfPad, how many remotes are we talking about? Just picture that drawer full of identical black remotes. And, maybe more importantly, the frustration that causes for the staff. Trying to keep everything running, especially when things get busy. Okay, let's dig into this.
Well, exactly. And this brings up a really important question. How much time, how much effort, maybe even money are businesses losing just because their control systems are, frankly, outdated or inefficient? Our sources really hammer home these pain points. There's the obvious frustration, right? Staff juggling remotes for DirecTV, DI-Shade, various cable boxes, trying to find the right one. But it actually goes deeper than just annoying the staff. We see mentions of owners getting called at home. Why? Because employees just can't figure out the system. Maybe something went wrong. And that hits everything. Operational efficiency, staff morale, and yeah, ultimately the customer's experience too. It's been this kind of hidden drain that a lot of places just sort of put up with.
Until now, maybe. And
Sure.
that's where this WolfPad 10-inch color tablet comes in. It's positioned as, well, a pretty elegant solution. It's built specifically to make controlling and routing all those HDMI signals much easier, especially in those busy places like sports bars. The core promise seems pretty simple, but actually quite profound. Get rid of that mountain of remotes, simplify the whole process.
And it's important we clarify what it actually is. This isn't just a regular tablet you'd buy for watching movies. It's a dedicated interface. It's purpose-built to work hand in glove with a larger WolfPack HDMI matrix switcher. That's the central hub, basically, routing video from any source to any screen, and the whole WolfPack TV control system. And a really key insight from the sources is this. No programming knowledge is needed to set it all up.
Oh, okay.
Which is huge for businesses, right? It means you get this intuitive, pretty simple interface that almost anyone on staff can pick up and use. It really lowers the barrier for what used to be quite complex AV control.
Right, you don't need a dedicated tech whiz on payroll just to change the channel.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get into the specifics then, the really exciting bits, the features that make you go, aha. First one that jumps out, unified channel management. Imagine just grabbing this one tablet and being able to change channels on your DirecTV boxes, your Dujus receivers, your cable boxes, all right there. No more running to the back room, fumbling with different remotes for each box. That alone sounds like a massive time saver operationally.
Huge. Prevents staff from being pulled away from customers just to switch game.
But okay, beyond just channels, what about the way you control it? The sources talk a lot about visual control with floor plans.
Yeah.
How does seeing it visually actually change things for the staff compared to like a list of TV numbers?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. Because the floor plan integration, it's a total game changer, not just for speed, but for reducing sort of the mental effort for the staff. Think about a brand new employee. Maybe it's a crazy busy Friday night. Instead of trying to memorize TV 17 is the one by the window, they just look at the tablet.
No.
They see a map, your actual floor plan that you provide, showing exactly where each TV is. They just tap the screen on the TV they want to change. Super easy identification and selection.
Okay, that makes sense.
And, historically, getting custom floor plans integrated into an AV system, that was expensive, required AV specialists, custom programming. The fact that this seems to be standard here, and it even supports multiple floor plans maybe for different floors or sections, that really democratizes this kind of advanced control, makes it accessible.
So it moves it from being a technical chore to something much more intuitive, like using a map on your phone.
Precisely.
And the smart features keep coming. The sources point out something called live video preview. This sounds clever. You can actually see a little live preview of the video source on the tablet before you send it to a TV,
Right.
or even a group of TVs. It's got to prevent mistakes, right?
Absolutely. That little preview window, it cuts down on errors significantly, and it just makes the whole operation look more professional. Think about the groans in a sports bar if the wrong game pops up, even for a second. Live preview basically eliminates that possibility. You see what you're sending before you send it.
No more accidentally showing the cooking channel on the big screen during the final quarter.
Hopefully not.
Then there's something simple but, wow, probably really effective. One-button power control. Just a single button press turns all the connected TVs on in the morning and off again at night. Think about the time that saves at opening and closing, especially if you've got, 20, 30 TVs.
Oh, definitely. Streamlines those routine tasks.
And for flexibility, they talk about any in to any out capability. What does that mean in practice?
It means the underlying system, the matrix switcher it controls, is really powerful. You can take video from the sources, say, up to 16 different source devices, and cable boxes, Blu-ray players, digital signage players, whatever, and send any of those sources to any of up to 36 TVs.
16 sources to 36 TVs.
Well, yeah, and in any combination. So TV 1 gets source A, TV 2 gets source B, TVs 3 through 10 get source C. You get the picture. It shows it's built for scalability. It can handle pretty large venues.
Okay, so it's robust. It can grow with the business.
Exactly. That flexibility is key.
Yeah.
It means the system can adapt if the business changes. Maybe they add a patio section with more TVs or convert a room for events. They don't need a massive AV overhaul.
That makes sense. And what about making common tasks even faster?
That seems to be where the programmed favorites comes in, especially good for, say, sports bars. You can set up shortcuts. So instead of scrolling through channels or typing numbers, staff can just tap a button labeled ESPN or a local game or CNN, pick the source, tap the favorite, done, quick changes.
Nice. And it's built to last. You mentioned scalability.
Yeah, the sources say it's field upgradable via the cloud. So if you add another TV down the road, the system can be updated to accommodate it. Protects the initial investment.
Okay, and one more thing on the features list. Optional audio control. It mentions integrating with something called DBX audio matrices. What does that let you do?
Right. So the DBX matrices are separate, specialized audio processors that the WolfPad system can control. If a venue buys and installs one of those, it means they can manage audio zones independently from the same tablet.
Audio zones. So like different music in different areas.
Exactly. You could have, say, the game audio loud in the main bar, maybe some background music in the dining area, and something totally different on the patio, or if it's a place with bowling lanes, maybe specific audio there.
Okay, so you get really granular control over the whole atmosphere, not just the video.
Precisely. It moves beyond just sound playback to actually crafting the customer environment in different zones. Pretty powerful for enhancing the overall experience.
All right, so these are some really impressive features, but they obviously rely on the tablet itself being up to the job. Let's peek under the hood at the specs for a sec. We need to understand why these specs matter for this specific job, right? This WolfPad 10-inch tablet, it's designed for this system, and they mention it has superior features for fast switching. So, performance. It's running an octa-core processor. That's 8 cores working together. And it's got Android 12. The sources actually highlight this, gives it a plus 40% faster processing speed compared to typical quad-core tablets. And it's designed specifically for fast operating and fast switching. That speed must be crucial when you're juggling live video previews and multiple screens.
Absolutely critical. You can't have lag or freezes when you're trying to change multiple TVs at once during a key moment in a game, for example. And what's interesting, like we touched on, is while these specs sound like a decent consumer tablet, the focus here is purely on making the control system experience solid. The octa-core, the Android version, it's all about reliability and speed for this commercial job where glitches just aren't acceptable.
Right. And the display. It's a 10.1-inch screen, 1920 by 1200 resolution. Pretty sharp. Perfect for showing those floor plans clearly and those live video previews we mentioned.
Yeah, that high-res screen really supports the visual, intuitive nature of the controls. Makes it genuinely user-friendly, even in a potentially hectic environment.
Makes sense. Memory and storage. 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs of internal storage, but expandable up to 128 gigs. Sounds like plenty to run the control app smoothly without slowdown.
Should be, yeah. Enough headroom to keep things responsive.
And battery life always important for a portable device in a business setting. It's got a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. They say that offers up to 8 hours of support. So always ready to use throughout a whole work shift, basically. No need to constantly run back to a charger.
Which is key for operational continuity, right? You don't want the control tablet dying mid-shift. That long battery life is designed for the demands of a commercial workday.
Definitely. And physically. It's pretty light, about 1.1 pounds. Compact dimensions too, easy enough to carry around. Comes in black or white. Even has a 13 megapixel rear camera, though not sure what you'd use that for in this context.
Maybe documenting setup or issues. Hard to say.
Could be. But there's a useful note on flexibility here. While this WolfPad tablet is clearly designed for the system, the sources do mention that other compliant tablets, like an iPad or a Samsung tablet, can also be used.
Right, so businesses might have some options if they already have tablets, though you'd imagine the dedicated WolfPad unit is likely the most optimized experience. It offers flexibility, which is good.
Okay, now this is really important. A key point from the sources about the whole ecosystem. This WolfPad 10-inch color tablet we've been talking about. It's sold as tablet only for $175.
Yes, that's a critical piece of information. You have to understand, this tablet is the interface. It needs the rest of the system to do anything. It requires that WolfPad HDMI matrix switcher we mentioned earlier with the optional WolfPad TV Control System software or hardware module installed on it.
So you can't just buy this $175 tablet and expect it to control your existing TVs.
Absolutely not. Your input devices, the direct TV boxes, cable boxes, whatever, plus the actual TVs, and crucially, that matrix switcher hub itself, they're all separate, not included with the tablet. And the sources also give context by mentioning other complete control system packages. Things like the WolfPad DirecTV Tablet TV Control System or WolfPad Lite. Those are priced much higher, $1,250, $150 respectively.
Okay.
So yeah, it's vital to see the tablet as like the user-friendly tip of a much larger iceberg. It's the portal to this integrated AV control infrastructure. A key component, yes, but part of a bigger solution.
Got it. That's a really crucial distinction for anyone thinking about this. So who's the target audience here? Who really benefits from putting in a system like this? The sources list quite a range. Sports bars, naturally. Restaurants, bowling alleys, casinos, country clubs, gyms, big sports arenas, even sports training facilities.
Basically, yeah, any venue that's juggling multiple screens, multiple video sources, and wants to do it efficiently and reliably for their customers.
So, bottom line, what's the real value proposition for, say, a business owner or a manager listening right now?
Well, I think it boils down to this. It's not just about fancy tech control. It's about creating a significantly better operational environment. That translates directly into less stress for the staff, right? Fewer frantic moments, fewer mistakes. It means fewer calls to the owner or manager to fix things. And for the customers, it means a more responsive, more dynamic display system. The right content on the right screen at the right time, changed seamlessly. Ultimately, it's about efficiency, peace of mind, and delivering a better customer experience because the behind-the-scenes stuff just works smoothly. It lets staff focus on service, not fighting with remotes.
Well put. So there you have it. We've taken our deep dive into the WolfPad 10-inch color tablet. We've seen how this specialized piece of kit aims to bring, well, a sense of elegance and definite efficiency to what can be a really complex, often frustrating, multi-screen world. It really is a great example of how dedicated tech, thoughtfully designed, can simplify a task that causes daily headaches for a lot of businesses. Makes life easier for staff, better experience for patrons. Win-win.
It really does. And this whole exploration of the WolfPad system, it really highlights how a well-designed, dedicated interface can completely transform what looks like a massive logistical headache into something fluid, something user-friendly. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday complexities, maybe in our businesses, maybe even just in our homes, could be dramatically simplified if there was a dedicated, intuitive system designed just for that task?
That is a fantastic question to chew on, a great thought to leave everyone with as we wrap up today. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the WolfPad 10-inch color tablet. We hope you feel informed, maybe a little inspired by what smart design can do. We'll catch